Most important thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family, never forgetting where we came from. Most important thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family, never forgetting where we came from.
All right, how's everybody doing out there? You are now rolling with the D. You are in the place exactly where you need to be. It is the day before the big day, which we call Thanksgiving here. So that big day where everyone's gonna, need to loosen up their belt a little bit, and eating so much turkey you feel like you're gonna pop. Yep, that day is upon us, folks. That day is actually coming up. That day is gonna be tomorrow. So I know you guys are getting excited about that, getting ready to have a little turkey day, spend some time with the family, probably watch a lot of football, probably think about, I still got another day of the week left, and you've got a countdown going on to the new year 2015, and I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me today on this beautiful day, the day before Turkey Day. You're now rolling with the D. I'm your host, Sunny D. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening in. If you're listening on the podcast, thanks for listening. What you can do for us is make sure you leave a review. That helps us in the iTunes store, helps us get some ratings, helps us distribute material. So we appreciate that. If you're watching a video, if you're live or watching a recording, definitely leave questions and comments below the video. We appreciate that, whether you're on the YouTube or you're on Ustream.tv. Excited to be here, excited to be hacking the Bob, rolling with the D, where we come to you each and every episode and we talk about hacking the business of beauty, where I share some tips, some entrepreneurial perspectives, some mindset views, and tackle some of the topics that were always struggling me as an artist in the beauty industry. As I was coming up, I always wished I had a resource, a tool, a voice, somebody to speak to me and speak to that inner entrepreneur that I have. And that's really what this show is about. This show is about speaking to that inner entrepreneur. So I'm excited to do the show. I'm excited to be able to share with you guys, excited to come to you. And we do this show, we do 5 days a week. We stream content, we record content. This Monday we had a live Motives event going on at our downtown location. We had a guest artist in there, so you definitely want to go back and check that one out. We also tackle other topics. Sometimes we're on location. We were in San Francisco one episode. It was really cool out at Facebook headquarters. We've tackled a lot of different topics, so if you need to go through the archives and get caught up, definitely everything is on the platform. One of your best resource tools is simply just go to the website, thesalon1.net. You can find the blog there, the podcast there, and the video player, so you can check out some of the episodes. And then if you're on the podcast, you're in the Apple iTunes store, and you found Rolling with the D through there, share it with a friend, share the link, share it through your social media channels, help with the distribution, help a friend in need, a colleague in need, and help them discover Rolling with the D. And if you're curating and you're dropping comments, make sure you're using our hashtag RWTD, which stands for, you guessed it, Rolling with the D, so we can curate all that content and people can search some of the topics and things that we talk about. So Today's episode, what are we going to talk about? I just want to come in and hit you real quick with the message that you're going to need to start developing no matter where you're at, no matter what your organization is. It's going to become imperative in your climb up the ladder and your journey to success. And that imperative message that I want to leave you guys with today is about developing what I call the ownership mentality. When you think about ownership mentality, I want you to think about it like this. You might not have your name on the lease, the bills might not be in your name at the company that you work in, but that doesn't need to stop you from developing ownership mentality. No matter where you're at in an organization, you can develop ownership mentality. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you a title to develop that mentality. I work with my leadership team on a regular basis, and some of the things that we talk about, on a regular basis is, the direction of the company. Now, the individuals in my leadership team, they may not have a stake in the company. They may not have a stake in the company, but that does not mean that they cannot develop ownership mentality. I've worked in organizations where people assumed that I was the owner because of the way that I carried myself, because of the way that I conducted business inside the organization. You could work in an organization for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year, and you can develop that ownership mentality. And I want to talk to you guys, give you guys a few examples, a few tips, if you will, about what it's going to take for you to develop that. And it's really, it's going to start with the first thing is posture. What is your posture like? Are you showing up at work today because that's what you did yesterday? And if that's what you did yesterday and you're showing up today and there's been no improvement in your posture, no improvement in your attitude, no improvement in your outlook, then you're going to show up and you're actually just going to be a day older, a day rustier, a day further behind, a day weaker, and you're going to be making no progress. Every day, it's about making those small steps forward. And in the organization that you're in, maybe you have a title, maybe you don't. I have people in my organization, they may have been with us for a week or a month, but they can still have that ownership mentality. They can still develop that ownership mentality. They don't have to wait for themselves to find their name on the masthead. They don't have to wait, to see a business card that says owner or co-owner or whatever. You can develop that ownership mentality out of the gate. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. How do you develop that ownership mentality? What are some of the things that you can do in the process to develop that ownership mentality, and carrying that through? That's going to be one of the ingredients you're going to need as you move up in your organization and eventually become an owner, because it's going to start with your mindset. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about how you develop ownership mentality. We're going to talk about what ownership mentality looks like and what the posture of an owner looks like. So hang with us. You're rolling with the D. Rolling with the D live today. Stay tuned. We're going to come back and we're going to hack ownership mentality, how you can develop it, and that's going to propel you forward. So see you guys after these messages.
This break is brought to you by 1.0 Express, a Paul Mitchell focus salon and professional training salon. Are you a professional stylist who loves professional training? Or are you a salon owner who wants your stylist to receive the best professional training and become more well-rounded? Then you need to visit 1.0 Express, a professional training salon, where we offer a variety of weekly mini classes and workshops that range in areas such as hair cutting, hair coloring, hair styling, and business building. 1.0 Express, a professional training salon. Visit us at www.thesalon1.net for our upcoming schedule of classes and workshops, or call us at 813-870-3700. That's 813-870-3700. 1.0 Express, a professional training salon for salon professionals who love professional training. We'll see you there.
right, welcome back. Back in the place to be. You guys are rolling with the D. We are live. We are hacking the Bob, hacking the business of beauty. And today we are talking about ownership mentality. How do you develop ownership mentality? How do you maintain ownership mentality? And what are the benefits of ownership mentality? So let's start with, thinking about some of the key ingredients. When you think about ownership mentality, you don't have to necessarily wait until someone says, hey, here's the keys. Here's the keys. You own the joint now. You don't have to wait for that. A lot of people are waiting. They're what I call, stable and waiting, or hoping and waiting, or praying and waiting. They're waiting for somebody to bestow on them a title, or bestow on them, a label that says, hey, you're the owner now. But when you think about it, ownership mentality, what does it start with? The first thing I want you to think about is posture. Just like people that are, in the military, if you think about where they work on posture all the time. Myself, having been in the military, I know a lot about that because it was constant. They were telling us, chest out, shoulders back, stomach in, head up, chin in. So those kind of things, and they would go through a list, and we had to literally memorize that list, and it was parts of your body that we were constantly working on when it came to posture. And posture was a huge thing. And so when you think about posture, when you think about developing posture, it's going to be the same thing for you guys. But it might not be, chest out, stomach in, shoulders back. For you, posture might be, how are you showing up every single day? Now, you are showing up, right? So you want credit for that. But that's part of the blueprint that we talk about inside of my companies. But how are you showing up every single day? Are you showing up with posture? Are you showing up with your head up, or are you dragging in the door? What's the first thing out of your mouth when you come in the door, first person you make contact with? Is the first thing out of your mouth, a problem or a complaint or a gripe or a bitch or something like that? The first thing out of your mouth. I've been in organizations where the first thing out of somebody's mouth when they come in the door is, oh, I got the worst headache. Or, oh, you're never going to believe what happened to me. Oh, my tire's flat. My cat choked on a mothball. All kinds of crap. That's posture. So that's called a deflating posture. When you come into your organization and you're trying to develop ownership mentality, you've got to have that posture like, I own this place. I'm coming in here. I'm a problem solver. How's it going? First thing out of your mouth, it's amazing. It's a great day. It's a great day. You're on the right side of the ground. You got a lot to be thankful for if you woke up on this side of the dirt. So when you think about your posture, it's a great day. What are we going to tackle today? What problems am I going to solve today? How are you guys doing? What's going on? You got to bring that enthusiasm. That's part of your posture. You got to bring that electricity. That's part of your posture. You got to bring that energy. That's part of your posture. You got to bring that enthusiasm. Number one, if you think about it, if it's a rainy day or a sunny day, it's got to be a sunny day in your mentality, in your mindset. So posture has a lot to do with mindset. Also, when you think about looking at posture, I want you to look at, what do you look like? Do you look like the ultimate professional? If your organization has a dress agreement, are you in agreement? Do you look like you're on the right bus? Do you look like you're part of the organization? Do you look like you're ready to change lives? Do you look like you're ready to make it a great day? Because that's going to have a lot to do with your posture. If you come in and you have this little attitude, or you have this relationship, this like negative relationship with your wardrobe. Oh, this doesn't fit, so why'd you wear it? Oh, this is wrinkled, why'd you wear it? Oh, this is old, it's faded, why'd you wear it? You got to ask yourself those questions, because posture, your image, starts with your image, and then your energy level, right? A lot of times you have to look at, what am I putting inside my body? And I take my son, we go to the pancake place, we eat pancakes. A lot of times that slows me down a little bit. It's a little heavy, a little sugar. So I don't do it all the time, but it's something we do together. But I know it slows me down. When I'm eating fresh vegetables and fruits in the morning, staying away from the coffee, get my vitamins in there. I've got this energy that's internal, and I let that come out external. And if I don't have it inside of me, I got to bring it. And I won't go into a place. If I'm going in my organization, or if you're going in your organization and you're going to start adopting this ownership mentality, that's when you say, you know what, I'm not even going in here till I get my attitude right. So I want you to think about your attitude. I want you to think about posture when it comes to your wardrobe, what you're wearing, what your image looks like. Do you feel confident in your image? Check yourself in the mirror before you leave the house. What are you selling? What does it say you're selling? And then I want you to be thinking about the energy. I want you to be thinking about the enthusiasm. I want you to be thinking about that electricity that you're bringing. I want you to be thinking about that excitement that you're bringing. You know, if you're going into your organization, you have a goal, you have an objective, you have sales goals, you have a quota that you're trying to meet or you're going to break or exceed. You got to go in with that out of the gate, the posture. If you think about it, if you compete in any kind of sport, you know, if you're a track athlete and you step up to the line, what kind of posture do you think Usain Bolt has, the fastest man in the universe from Jamaica that just smashed every record? His posture is, when I step up to the line, nobody else is even on the line. I'm running this race solo. I'm not even going to see them. And when he takes off and he gets to the end of the race, he looks left, he looks right, nobody's even there because his posture out the gate. So posture is going to be a big thing that you have to bring if you're going to have this ownership mentality. The second thing is going to be attitude. When you're thinking about attitude, what is your attitude about your organization? What is your attitude about your clientele? What is your attitude about the mission that your company is on? Do you need a checkup from the neck up? Do you need to be rolling with the D? Do you need me plugged into your ear? What is your attitude? So you got to look at your diet when it comes to attitude, because attitude in the diet. Are you watching, you know, all the riots, all the stuff that's going on? Is that what's consuming your mind? Is that what's consuming your time? Then your attitude's probably going to be a little bit negative. If you're just watching CNN all day, all morning, all night, watching tragedy, rape, war, murder, then what do you think your attitude is going to be like coming in? Are you programming your mind for success every day? Are you reading positive materials? Are you listening to positive messages at least 30 minutes a day to mindset yourself, to set up your mind for success? Because that's going to be a big thing if you're planning on having ownership mentality. Attitude is everything. So you got to set yourself up. I do my programming, I do in the morning and I do at night. Regardless, it's a non-negotiable for me because I need to maintain that ownership mentality. And the further along I want to move in the organization, the more my mindset comes into play, because you're going to be hitting the hardest obstacles, the hardest challenges, tackling the biggest problems in the organization. So your mindset is everything. So you got to work on your mindset constantly. It's a 24/7 operation. The mind never sleeps. Even when you're sleeping, the mind is still working. So that's going to be your attitude. That's going to be key if you're going to develop this ownership mentality. And then also I want you to be thinking about tools. The tools that you're using. You know, whether it be audiobooks, actual paper books, on written word, whether you're using the internet, having resources. YouTube's one of my favorite resources because I'm constantly on YouTube. I'm constantly looking at videos. I share those videos with my team. Some of the videos I listen to, some of them are 5 minutes, some of them are 30 minutes, some of them are hour long. But I got to get that in. It sustains my attitude. So think about the different tools you have to access the material. For Rolling with the D, you've got a podcast, you've got the blog if you want to read it, you want to listen to it, or you want to watch it in the Rolling with the D live show. So you have 3 different mediums. That's why I distribute content across mediums, because I know people like to consume information in different ways. And all of the material is out there, and most of it's free, and all of the different channels that you can track it down. So you got to be working on that. Use the tools that are available to you. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a couple other key ingredients that's going to help set you up and get you this ownership, get you in this ownership mentality. The ownership mentality, you're not going to be waiting for this. You're not going to be waiting on someone all of a sudden to say, hey, guess what? You're an owner. We're not going to wait on that. You're going to develop the ownership mentality. You're not going to wait for someone to bestow a title upon you. You're rolling with the D, so stick with me. When we come back, we're going to talk about a couple other key ingredients that's going to help you develop ownership mentality that's surely going to propel you to success and keep moving you in the direction that you want to go. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
This break is brought to you by the Salon 1.0, a Paul Mitchell Focus salon with locations in Tampa, Florida and Oldsmar, Florida. Are you tired of the same old routine when you go to the salon? You know the one I'm talking about. You go into the salon, sit down, and the stylist says, "What are you getting done?" And then when you leave, you have a shorter version of the same thing you came in with. Then it's time to upgrade your salon experience and visit the Salon 1.0 near you. Our team of salon professionals are trained in the latest techniques in hair cutting, hair coloring, and hair styling, and will offer you customized consultations with every visit. Enjoy our complimentary beverage bar and private shampoo room where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy a hot towel treatment, head massage, and hand massage with every visit. Come in and let one of our Paul Mitchell trained professionals create your new look. Visit us at www.thesalon1.net to schedule your next reservation. That's www.thesalon1.net. You can also reach us in Tampa at 813-280-2953 or in Oldsmar at 813-854-4505. Visit the Salon 1.0 and let us show you what the salon experience is all about. This break is...
All right, welcome back. How you guys doing? You are rolling with the D, live in the place to be. Thanks for tuning in. If you're listening to the podcast, thanks for listening. Make sure you give us a rating in the iTunes store to help us reach our goal of reaching more people. That's what those ratings do. Leave a comment if you're watching on video, whether it's a recording or it's live. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about the ownership mentality and why it's critical that you develop this ownership mentality, not only for yourself to help you move up in your organization, but also for your organization. And so I'm breaking down and sharing with you some of the tips. And what we're talking about, first we talk about, the posture that you're going to need. Then we go into the attitude that you're going to need, using the tools that are available to help you develop the attitude. And then the last thing I want to talk about is initiative. A lot of times people are sitting around, they're waiting on someone to tell them what to do. That's not ownership mentality. If I waited on somebody to tell me what to do with my business or my organization, nothing would happen. An owner makes things happen. They're not waiting around for somebody to tell them or direct them, hey, do this, do that. You need to take initiative. If you plan on having that ownership mentality, you need to take initiative. You see something that needs to get done, get it done. Get it done. You don't have to wait for direction. And a lot of times when you're thinking like ownership mentality, you got to put yourself through the checklist. Am I a person that takes initiative, or do I wait? Do I wait for an order to come down? Think about a huge organization. You're waiting for, an order to come down from the higher ups. Depending on how big that organization is, that could take a day, a week, a month, a year. Your organization might be out of business by the time. If you see something that needs to be done, you could take it upon yourself. That's ownership mentality. No one's going to bite your head off. No one's going to get mad at you. And if you do take the initiative and you get in trouble, you probably are not in a organization that's truly trying to grow. So you need to have a talk with whoever bit your head off and say, hey, look, this is the problem. I'm a problem solver. This is why I did it. And I guarantee if you're in the right organization, you'll be commended for this type of behavior, not condemned. So I want you to be thinking about that. The initiative. If you see it, you own it. That's kind of my own personal kind of rule of thumb. Something as simple, even if you're just walking through the organization and you see, some dirt on the floor, you own it. You see it, you own it. You don't see it and somebody needs to clean that up. I wonder who it's going to be. It's going to be you. If you're an owner and you have the ownership mentality, it's going to be you. You're going to be the person that cleans it up. You're going to be the person that takes charge. You're going to be the person that makes things happen. That's ownership mentality. So I want to just kind of recap those four kind of key ingredients. And there's a few more, but those are the main four that I want to point out to you today. Starting with P, posture. You have to develop posture. How do you show up? What is your image like? What's your energy level like? Are you bringing the enthusiasm? Are you bringing the energy? Are you bringing the excitement? Are you electric? When you come in the room, does the room brighten up? You got the smile on your face. You're ready to tackle the biggest problems. That's your posture. You got to work on that every single day. Followed by, connected right to number 2, attitude. How are you developing your attitude? Are you feeding your mind the good books? Are you feeding your mind the good audios? Are you watching the right videos? Are you getting the negative junk and the garbage and the white noise out of your life, because that's going to feed into your attitude. Your mindset is everything. Your mind is a 24/7 operation. Your mind never sleeps. So you need to be thinking about, what am I doing to strengthen, sharpen my mind, keep myself sharp, keep myself ahead of the game, keep myself ahead of everyone. Think about that Usain Bolt. I mean, when he's out there running, it's like he's running with no one. He's out in front, so far out in front, no one stands a chance. So you have to develop that, though. He developed that over time, that kind of attitude. And then number 3, I want you to think about the tools, the resources that you have available to you in your organization and outside of your organization. You as a utility to your organization, you as a tool, you as being an asset, not a liability. You don't want to be a liability to your organization. We try to reduce liabilities. We don't want liabilities. We want assets. Asset. You want to be an asset. You want to be a helpful utility. What tools do you have at your disposal to use to stay sharp, to develop that ownership mentality? Make a list of those and use them. And then the last one, number 4, is initiative. Owners don't sit around waiting for orders to come down from the mountaintop. Owners take charge and they make things happen. So if you want to develop that ownership mentality, that's what it's going to take. You need to be the one that takes the initiative and make things happen, not waiting for somebody else to clean it up. You jump in there and you make it happen. That's what ownership mentality is all about. I want you guys to go out there. I'm going to give you tomorrow off. You got Turkey Day tomorrow, so we're going to give you tomorrow off. You can go get yourself stuffed like a turkey, have some fun, spend time with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and we'll be back on Friday with another episode we'll be sharing with you. But I want you to be thinking about that. We're coming in for a landing, guys. We're coming in. 2015 is knocking at the door. I had a meeting with my team last week, and we talked about, setting up ourselves for these last 5 weeks. We're pushing hard. We're going into overdrive. We're coming in for a landing, but we're not coasting. We're not sitting back. We're not resting on our laurels. We're not putting our guard down, and I don't want you to do that either. I want you to get a jump start on the new year. So the 2015, 365 days is coming. It's going to be the biggest year, your best year ever. I know it's going to be ours for our company, and I want it to be the same thing for you. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you're using that hashtag RWTD. Make sure you're sharing this with your friends, your family. If you're listening on the podcast, thanks for listening. Make sure you're leaving us a rating in the Apple iTunes store, sharing the podcast with your friends and family. And I know one thing's for sure, guys. If you're out there, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you've got greatness in you. And Rolling with a D, our mission is here to help you unleash that greatness. So thanks for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. And I hope you guys have a safe one. Eat a lot. Spend time with the family. And then we'll see you guys on Friday, where we'll be coming to you live. So go out there, develop your ownership mentality, and we'll see you at the top. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.